Hi, Professor Schaudt. This is Molly Braden's service learning video project. I chose to do my service at two different organizations, and I'm going to tell you a little about each. I volunteered with Horses Inc. near Murray in Dexter, Kentucky, and at the Ronald McDonald House in Louisville, Kentucky. I chose to work at Horses Inc. because I saw that they primarily work with special needs kids, and I'm really passionate about these individuals. I wanted to also gain more experience in working in close contact with horses because I've always loved animals, but I've never had extensive experience with horses. Horses Inc. began with Bob and Joy Weinbarger when they decided that they wanted to do something in their lives to help impact children and adults with impairments in their community. According to the Horses Inc. website, their purpose is to provide safe, affordable, therapeutic riding and equine services to children and adults in Callaway and the surrounding counties through a well-staffed organization with local medical, educational, public, and social service agencies and professionals to develop the social, emotional, and physical and educational skills that they so need. This organization offers different programs based on the ability of the rider. For example, if someone's completely mobile and they can use all of their limbs, they're going to have a different program than someone who is is less mobile, someone that does not have full use of their limbs. I went through a brief orientation where I was familiarized with the barn area, the horses, the horseback riders, and the other volunteers. And I was trained on how to handle the participants if anything went wrong or just any different situation. And I was instructed on proper horse care management. And I really enjoyed my experience at Horses Inc. I helped out during the lessons. I would just either lead the horses or walk beside the riders in case they needed my assistance. And I would also perform general duties such as barn maintenance and tacking the horses, which involves taking the harnesses off and putting them back in I guess it's the tack barn, whatever that's called, and just saddling them up, that kind of thing. My service benefited the organization because I was able to help make the horse therapy sessions run more smoothly because any extra help there is really beneficial to the organization. Also, the community was benefited by my work because I was able to help with the therapy of members of the community that need it most. I definitely received a lot out of my experience with Horses Inc. because I learned more about hippotherapy. That's what therapy with horses and special needs individuals is called. And I also learned more about horses. So overall, I really did enjoy the experience, and I'm glad I was able to work with them, and I probably will again in the spring when the programs start back up. I was also able to work with the Ronald McDonald House in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm from right outside of Louisville, and I've worked with this organization before in high school, but I thought it would be great to go back individually and do some service there. I chose to volunteer there because I helped in high school, and I already said that. The Ronald McDonald House organization started in 1974 in Philadelphia, and it's flourished ever since because of the support of many donors and primarily because of McDonald's restaurant. According to the Ronald McDonald House website, their purpose is to create and find support programs that directly improve the health and well-being of children. The Ronald McDonald Houses, there's many throughout the country, and what they do is they provide a home away from home for families that are receiving medical care in the cities. For example, at the Ronald McDonald House, it is in Louisville, so you've got many different hospitals, U of L Hospital, Norton, Suburban, where the kids can go. For Kosera, also many kids go there. And if they're from a rural area such as in eastern Kentucky where those kind of facilities are not prevalent, they would come if they don't have much money. They would come and stay in this house for a very minimal fee. I think it's about $15 a night, and that's all inclusive pretty much. They provide meals, provide just different kinds of services. Overall, it's a really great program, and I had volunteered previously, so I didn't receive any formal training or anything. It's pretty straightforward. The organization is flawless, and I wouldn't recommend any changes. I, while I was volunteering here, I was giving cooking and cleaning duties. I cleaned around the 4-story house. I cleaned the toys that the children would use in the different toy rooms, and I vacuumed them, and I washed some wagons. That was fun. And I also baked, which was an experience because I don't really cook, but I enjoyed it. I cooked some cakes and cookies and cupcakes. It was really fun. And I did it on 2 consecutive days. I went 4 hours one morning, and the next morning I did another 4 hours. So it was really fun to see like the next day, like all of my desserts were gone. So that made me feel really happy. Um, my service definitely benefited the organization because I was able to help maintain the clean and homey environment that the Ronald McDonald House is so renowned for. What they do is they provide this area that people feel comfortable in, so they don't have to stay at a crammed hotel. They get their own little area, their own little kitchen, and they have full potential to do whatever they want. Essentially, it's a very free environment, but there are still rules. Also, the families benefited from my cooking aspect of my volunteer services because, like everyone likes desserts. That gives them a little happiness every once in a while. And the community benefited from my work at the Ronald McDonald House because there isn't really another type of facility like the Ronald McDonald House, at least in Louisville, to my knowledge. And the support of volunteers like me and other organizations, high schools, churches, they're always going in to help with different services that are needed. And the work of volunteers is what makes the organization possible. It's how it functions. I was definitely benefited by my experience at the Ronald McDonald House because I was able to closely view and interact with the children and families that I was impacting. So overall, I really enjoyed working with both of these organizations, both very different. So kind of gave me a little taste of two different areas of therapy and more of a shelter home kind of environment. So thank you, and this is my video.